December's been so far one of the better months for mobile gaming, and it won't really matter if you've got a Wi-Fi stable connection or not. Cause besides a dozen tactical online shooter, role-playing and open world games, here's our top 20 free-to-play offline most realistic games of 2022 up until this very day for your Android and iOS devices as well. Let's go. And number one from a couple of weeks ago, we've got over here Dynasty Wars, or Wars of the Three Kingdoms, an action RPG hack and slash story-based online and offline game, actually coming from the same developers of the old Land Island of Survival that's been sitting on the Play Store ever since with over 10 million downloads. Just check it out. Dynasty Wars, as you can see, a Musou style, superb in graphics, is a very smooth and rewarding gameplay, and the English version, however, is due out in about a few months from now. Coming up behind that from roughly 3 weeks ago, we've got over here Racing Master by the one and only developers NetEase, sitting on the Play Store with almost 100,000 downloads and a 9 out of 10 review score. Racing Master is a real-time sim racer with some legitimate next generation physics engine, featuring some like north of 100 licensed real-world cars and racing tracks from all over the world. In case you're wondering, less than 100 megabytes of space and all the way free.
If you fail, all is lost.
Next up, we've got, okay, first off, if you're a fan of paid games and you haven't bought Oddmar already, let's just not go there, because this game is free right now, and it is just simply one of the best looking mobile games of all time on the Play Store. This is an incredibly fun platformer, no matter what part of the experience we're talking about. This game has won awards, it's been ported many times over different consoles, it's free, it also then supports a controller. This game is made by gods. Guys, moving on, we've got here, actually from a tad over a week ago, and from the same developers of all Ice Scream games and a lot of other horror games as well, a totally brand new IP going by Witch Cry, which has to be probably the most fine-tuned story-based horror game coming out of the company ever since the opening. It's got quite a bit of survival horror-tuned elements, all balanced and detailed, has no bugs so far, it's free all the way, and it's promised to be continued with further episodes down the line. Check it out.
Very well. That's how I like it. Very fat and tasty, child.
Coming up at number 5 from September this year, just an honorable mention though, as one of the highest rated, most fine-tuned games of all time on the mobile gaming scene, we've got over here the House of Da Vinci 3. This is not a free but paid puzzle adventure off of a series that goes back to more than 3 years ago, and with the Android version specifically being in the works for almost 3 months. Check it out, this got to be a head and neck above the rest of the list, no matter the genre, and it'll take you down for only $7 US. Alright guys, now, coming up behind that we have Payday Crime from a little more than a week ago, sitting on the Play Store with only 1,000 downloads, which is kind of mind-blowing is just how underrated it is for a Payday console to mobile port, and one that actually supports co-op play. This is not an honorable mention, it's a very huge single player and co-op multiplayer, or well, better if played multiplayer. It is very rewarding and takes you down for only 100 megabytes of space. Coming up behind that with only 100,000 downloads sitting on the Play Store since a couple of weeks ago only, we've got Arena Breakout Beta. This is a free-to-play tactical first-person mobile exclusive shooter featuring an open world and actually based on the idea of this deadly virus's aftermath, where you as a tactical force of a bunch of different classes just come in to save the day by healing wounds and killing maniacs. Check it out, this game is also all the way free and very, very fine-tuned in nature. And number 8 from half a month ago, we've got over here actually sitting on the Play Store through most regions in its pre-register state, although available, Hunter D-Day2. This is a sniping hunting offline zombie shooter with some superb graphics. It actually plays really well and is getting updates almost on a daily basis for further gameplay enhancements. This game's free, download over 1 million times through a few regions, and it is very varied in content. At number 11, as an honorable mention though, since this game is still in its beta phase, like a couple of other games earlier, actually since June though, we've got over here Dead 4 Returns. This is a multiplayer co-op shooter, story-based game, and one that is actually made with Unreal Engine 5. This game's been through a couple of betas ever since reveal. It's set to be released in its full by the end of the month, and this is actual gameplay. If you are inquiring anymore, you can go ahead and use the links down in the description. There's one on the TapTap, and there is one that you can play the game offline on an unofficial website. So keep it in mind. Sitting on the Google Play Store for the price of $1, we've got from earlier this year My Little Guardian. This is a story-based puzzle adventure platformer, but life of a ragdoll finding his way around the world to find meaning of life. This game's got quite the graphics for one small size and storage, like it takes you less than 200 megabytes of space. Game is literally bug free, and in my opinion it might as well just be right up there with Bandai Namco's Little Nightmares, if not, no less. If you were die-hard bus simulation games and you weren't really pleased with the pay-to-play recently released Bus Sim City Ride, even though that game's honestly the best yet, we've got over here from roughly a couple of weeks ago Bus Sim 2023, hands down the best competitor to that game. It is quite literally the same, if not no less. The game is really fine-tuned in nature, it's very amazing in graphics and smooth as hell, and at some point you won't even need an internet to play. We've got here something called Cyberpunk. Well, technically from last year, this is an action-adventure MMORPG with a pretty deep storyline and will technically sit in the Cyberpunk universe. Game's heavily inspired by 2077 and also another game called Game Deck, which is a top-down, detective-style, story-driven. This one, however, offers a pretty well-inclined control system, a really good look for a mobile game. It's not a really easy to play game, it's pretty challenging in fact, but when it comes to replay value, this is to be one of the best cyberpunk style games ever made for any platform. Check it out just in case you missed it. Punishing Grey Raven, on the other hand, which is technically speaking a AAA when it comes to just the gaming world as a whole experience, not just the mobile devices, well, technically has been around since July last year and is downloaded over 1 million times with a very good review score as well. Frankly, just 1 million times only because not just any phone could handle the graphics, or maybe that's just what I've been led to believe. This is an action RPG at its heart and set in a cyberpunk universe, and a lot in the same vein of old Nier games, hence the resemblance. Check it out, the game will take you down for 2 GB of space. At number 14, we've got Injustice Samurai. This is another hit MMORPG by the same old developers, where you play as a samurai during the Tang Dynasty. The objective is to just mainly finish quests by taking down hordes of enemies at once, online. The game is not quite available worldwide still, although available to download using the link in the description, and actually quite fine-tuning gameplay as well. Alright guys, this has actually been common since almost 10 years ago guys. Banana Kong 2 actually did come out with finally only found on the Google Play and App Store, and it is perhaps the best thing that happened in July 2022 so far for the mobile devices. For those of you who do know this thing, Banana Kong was such an amazing masterpiece of a game, so just take all of that and now multiply it by 10 times at least. Graphics in Banana Kong 2 are truly incredible, and the gunplay is just perfect. It's now got a good story on top, and the music is just so on point. Last but not least, it's also free. Ninja Assassin Stealth, on the other hand, is an action RPG ninja stealth sim set in an open world, semi-open world though, based on a real location in Edo, Japan, through the Sengoku dynasty. And technically, you do live the life of a ninja little assassin hitman. It's a nice, neat little game from folks who do actually specialize assassination games and quite fine-tuned in nature. Game's free, bug-free, and has optional ads as well. Coming up behind that, we've got Spider Girl 1, not Spider Fighter or 1 or 2, nor a sequel, but actually a totally new IP from the same old developers whose specialty is to just make superhero games. Once again, here delivering another pretty good game. It is smooth, really good looking, and it's got lots of unlockables to go through. It's just like Spider-Man 4, but on your cell phones. Check it out, game's been around for about a month now. At number 18, we've got Ryuko, Legend of Shadow Hunter. This is a stealth-based kind of hack and slasher, but one with RPG elements and actually playable offline. It's a pretty awesome game. I'd like to think it's really mind-blowing because it's got some really good graphics and it is actually all the way free. Like, you can even play the game offline with zero internet connection. You could, however, do take care of that and get even more items with about $1. Which makes the game totally free. It's really good, it's really smooth, playable with a controller, and it's got a pretty good story on top. My opinion is a 5 out of 5. For all of you war-playing games, I mean shoot 'em up, shmup, and Ace Combat fans here, we've got here what's called Wings of Heroes, and this is coming at number 2 because it was released very recently. Now, Wings of Heroes over here is right now the closest thing to War Thunder on PCs that you can have hands on for free on a phone. It is playable both online and offline with some truly detailed customization options. They're based on old World War II planes and a pretty smooth gameplay as well. Just take a quick look in case you missed it. And last but not least, as actually one of the most underrated games on the whole gaming scene since the beginning of the year, we've got Mortal Kombat Onslaught. This is a fighting but actually mobile RPG or gacha style adventure. This game does continue to some extent on the stories of Mortal Kombat 11 with some additional cutscenes and content. It's very much like a Raid Shadow Legends game except in NetherRealm's universe. And last but not least, all the way free.